Hi, welcome to our instructional video. Today we're going to show you how to set up your Astra modular system, as well as go through some of the accessory options at the end of the video. Now for purposes of today, I will be demonstrating on a 3-foot Astra frame, but rest assured, they go together the exact same way regardless of what size you have. I will show you the hardware of a larger width Astra frame because there's a little bit of the difference in terms of the support bars and how those go together for your larger sizes. But rest assured, like I said, these frames go together very easily and they go together relatively exactly the same. So let's dive in. So regardless of what size Astra wall you have, simply unzip your carry case and start by removing the pieces and laying them out on a clean, flat surface. To start piecing together your frame, line up your symbols with one another and start making your connections. Take note of these stickers that identify which piece will be the top and the bottom of your frame. At this point, when you've mostly lined up all the symbols of your individual pieces and your Astra frame is starting to take shape, you come to the step of having to install the support bars. Now there's a little bit more of a variety in terms of the support bars given which size Astra frame you are setting up. So if you have a 3-foot wall, you're going to utilize just a horizontal support bar. Now if you have a 6.5-foot height, you only have one. For an 8-foot height, you're going to have 2 horizontal support bars for that extra stability. Now in terms of the larger widths from 5, 8, and 10, you're going to have the crosshair support bar. Now if you have a 6.5-foot height, you'll have a smaller crosshair connector. If you have an 8-foot height, you're going to have this larger crosshair connector. You'll notice that the horizontal support bars are skinnier than the vertical ones just by way of how the knobs at the end of the support bars fit into the notch and holes on the frame. Again, the smaller crosshair connector is utilized for the 6.5-foot height, and the thicker ends go for the vertical support bars, whereas the skinnier ones are used for the horizontal. Now if your Astra wall will be 8 foot in height, you're going to install that extender piece and ignore that bottom notch for the horizontal support bar and install it in the top notch to accommodate for that height. And then of course you'll install the longer of the crosshair connectors. And then regardless of what height you have for your Astra wall, you can go ahead and install the top vertical support bars. And line them up with the holes in the top portion of the frame. And there you have it. It should be noted with your larger width Astra walls, you're definitely going to need 2 or more people to help you place in that top portion of your frame. So when your Astra frame is finally assembled with the necessary support bars and or extender pieces, you can now go ahead and attach the graphic. These are SEG graphics, so you fold that silicone edge into the channel along the frame, starting in one corner, then do the corner diagonally opposite, do the 2 remaining corners, fill in the centers around the frame, and then go ahead and press in the remaining SEG gasket. Again, this graphic installation applies to any size Astra wall you may have. So for the smaller 3-foot Astra wall, you can get a foot such as this where there's kind of a bottom lip that goes underneath the display. But simply have the locking tabs faced in opposite positions. One going this way and one going this way. Line up the tabs with the channel on the side of the frame. Slide the foot underneath. Have the tabs lined up in the channel and simply twist and lock into place. Now if you're utilizing any of the accessories on the 3-foot wall, or if you have any of the larger Astra wall displays, you will get this larger stabilizer foot that goes in the exact same way as the other foot. It just rests on the outside. You don't necessarily need to tuck it underneath the display, but go ahead and line up the tabs with that channel on the outside of the display. Have the orange circles facing opposite directions. Get the tab securely in the channel and twist to lock in place. All that's left to do is to plug in the power supply. And there you have it. It's just that simple to set up your Astra wall display. Now in terms of accessories, only the 3-foot Astra display can accommodate the monitor mount or the single and double shelf. They all install the exact same way via the locking tabs being inserted in the channel on the side of the frames here. This is the mount for the double shelf. It just has 2 flaps, whereas the single shelf only has 1. Now, if you want the shelf laid flat, you have the flat part of the triangle appendage on the top. Just line up the locking tabs parallel to the channel on the side of your frame. You twist and lock into place. Repeat this process for the second mount. Make sure you have them lined up parallel from one another. Now there are these notches that are at the hinge of the triangular appendage for both the singular and double shelf mount. That is where the lip of the shelf will rest. Now, if you want your shelf displayed at an angle, you simply flip the mount upside down and install it this way. And there's that notch still on the back hinge of the appendage that you then place the shelf in. Now, when attaching your monitor mount accessory to your Astra wall, you can effectively do it while the display is still tipped over on the ground. You can have your TV monitor attached to the mount and effectively slide the entire unit down the channels of your Astra wall and lock into place. Slide it to your desired height, twist the locking tabs, and press into place. You can then go ahead and raise the display. There is also the side shelf option that is not restricted to just the 3-foot Astra wall. This can be utilized on any other size Astra wall that you may have. It attaches exactly like all the other accessories. You line up the tabs on the mount with the channel on the side of the frame here, twist and lock into place. And then the bottom of the shelf just has its own channel that then slides on the top of the mount.